Okay, we just lost our internet, so it looks like it's working now. I see that Bob and Stanley and Bob are here. Yes, I was out of the cyberspace building as we started. Well, glad you could join us today now that we are back on the internet. So let's get started talking about the new Apple Mail on Go for Lunch for May the 6th, 2025. Brought to you by GoFor Technology. I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and we are here to make your technology work for you and work for me. So it's National Nurses Day. If you know a nurse, thank them today for being a nurse or providing the care that many men and women have dedicated their lives to. So we're glad that we have nurses when we need them. So the new Apple Mail, let's talk about the Apple Mail app advantages. So it's included in all your Apple operating systems, so you might say it's free. And it syncs between all your devices if you have iCloud syncing turned on. So you can get your mail from any device, and when you delete your mail on one device, it will delete your mail on all devices. You can also add other accounts to your Apple Mail, so whether you have iCloud Mail or Gmail or Yahoo Mail or Earthlink, whatever you have, you can have all your mail in one place. So these changes to Apple Mail came about in macOS 15.4 and iOS and iPadOS 18.2. So you need to be updated to get the features we're going to talk about today. So the new categorization system sorts emails into tabs. So that's the biggest change. So you have 4 tabs. You have primary, transactions, updates, and promotions. So let's look at the primary tab first. So that's where you will find personal messages and time-sensitive information. And then we have the Transactions tab, and you'll get confirmations, receipts, and shipping notices. Thirdly, we have updates, which will bring you news, newsletters, and social media updates. And last but not least, we have promotions. So those will be coupons and sales emails. So when a transactions updates or promotions message includes time-sensitive information, it will also be included in the primary message. So it can be two places at once. So let's see how that works. So we're going to switch over here to Mac Mail. And so as you can see here at the top, we have primary highlighted, and when you first start using it, you'll get this little message here that explains how everything works. And when you click on try categories, that message will go away. So here we have primary, so you can see I have a shipment here, another shipment which is probably the same shipment, a notice from my mortgage company. It picked up here in the title today, so that's a time-sensitive message. So if we go here to transactions, You can see also I got that same USPS delivery message, but here's a payment, and so you can see different things here, alerts and so forth. Then we have updates. So these are things like newsletters. And so here's an update that I'm live on YouTube finally. Here's a, oh my goodness, my flight went down after I already bought it. And then last we have promotions, which are mostly sales types things. And so that's the way that works. So you can manually categorize messages from a sender into a category of your own choosing, and the way you do that is you right-click on the message, then you find Choose Categorize Sender, and then you select the category that you want that sender to be in. And once you manually categorize a message from a sender into that category that you chose, all current and future messages from that sender will appear in that category that you choose. So let's find one here. So, and let's go into receipts, transactions. Let's see. Let's take the AARP here, and that's more like a newsletter. So I'm going to right click and scroll down, and here you see categorize sender. So now I'm going to go over here and click on updates, and now that will be in updates. And now, as you can see here, it says recategorize all messages from AARP member benefits update into updates. You would think that the artificial intelligence would have found update there, but it didn't. So we click on continue, and now that message disappears because we were in transactions. So that's the way that you can customize this when you see things that the AI didn't quite get right. So you can quickly view your emails in your inbox. At the top of the message list, you can click the category you are in, or double click on another category to open all mail. And then you can, or another way to do it is you can choose view and then turn off show mail categories. So let's see how that works. So if I double click on transactions here, you see it found all mail, which was hiding over here. So now it's in all mail, just like you're used to. So let me go back to another category. So all mail is actually hiding right here at the edge. So you can just click on that. Now another way you can change it is go up here to the three dots, and you can just uncheck show mail categories. And the third way is you can go to view up here and go down to uncheck show mail categories. So that's the way you can turn this off. But I'm going to try to convince you that you may want to leave it on. So and also in iOS, you can turn it off. Again, you hit the three dots in the upper right hand corner, and then you click on list view. Now one little interesting thing here, you see here you have show priority. So that's different from categories. So it kind of gives you the most important emails even when you are in list view. So you can kind of have the best of both worlds. So beware that you can show priority and be in list view, and it'll show the priority emails at the top of the list view. So this is an interesting feature. It's called branded mail, and right now it's only available in iOS 18.2 or later. So the way it works is it allows brands to show their logo next to their email message, and they have to be verified to do this. Also, you have a digest view that will assemble all your emails from a business in one place. Now, the digest view is not available in the primary category, but in all the other three. And you'll start seeing the branded mail logos rolling out because the business has to complete a 5-step procedure to verify that they're the actual business, so that you don't get any fraud in there. And since they are verified as the actual business, then when you get a message from a business that looks fishy and it doesn't have the logo, it can mean two things. The business hasn't taken the steps to put their logo in, or it's a scam. So unfortunately, this is not something that is there now, but it's going to roll out in the months to come. So let's look at that. So we're going to go over here to our phone, and we're going to do our get back to where we want to go. So we're going to go to mail. So as usual, the left hand side is the screen capture and the right hand side is actually the real iPhone. So you can see what I am doing, and I'm clicking on mail. Okay, so you can see the setup here is the same basically as on the Mac. So as I scroll down here, let's do promotions. So as I scroll down here, so you have some generic branding here. So here's a restaurant or food related, and here's shopping related, and then sometimes they have this little star. But here we go. The kind folks at Experian have gone through the steps, and as you can see here, they have their logo. So we'll go down here a little further and see if we can find some more logos. Okay, here's International Hotel Group. They have their logo on there. And here's Cinemark. They've got the big C there. So I think you're getting the idea that some of these are coming, some of them are here. So you can see a couple more. I think this one is a generic one for Viking. That's for travel. But Rockform, my favorite iPhone case maker, has done the steps to get their logo on there. So that is a neat little feature. And the digest view, while we're here, let's talk about that. So let's look at Viking. So here we have Viking, but wait, there's something wrong here. The date says 2/24 of 25. Well, it's 5/6 of 25. Why am I seeing this old message here? Well, that's because of the digest view is taking all of the messages from Viking that are still active and putting them in a digest. So the advantage to this is that you can get rid of them all at the same time. And as you could see, Viking sends me a lot of emails. I think they want me to go on a European riverboat cruise. Okay, so there we are. So now we're up to date. This came in at 6:16 this morning. So now when we hit the trash can in the lower left hand corner, it tells me it's going to trash 73 messages. So this is a great way to clean up your messages in your inbox. And so now I just got rid of 73 messages. So I think that is a great feature of the new Apple Mail. Let me know if you think that's a great feature. Another feature is writing tools, which have been integrated into iOS 18.2 or later. Now, the literature tells me that it's also integrated into macOS Sequoia 15. However, I couldn't find it. So if it was there, it seems to be gone. So I'm going to have to do some more research. So we'll look at it in iOS 18. Of course, it's using Apple's new generative IA system. And you can choose some options with writing tools. You can make your writing friendly, professional, or concise. So you can also choose a summary. You can have it tell you the key points. These are, in longer emails. And then also another feature is a smart reply that you can also help you identify and answer questions you were asked in an email. So let's look at how that works. So here we are, and we're going to let's see if we can get something. Let's take the Motley Fool here. Okay, so I'm just going to use them as an example. Oh, you see I'm in the I'm in the digest, so I've got some old messages here. So let's just find one here that has some text. So you can see it gives you just a little there we go. Let's try this one. Okay, so I'm going to tap here. I'm going to take the handle and extend it down to here. And I'm going to copy that. Oh, you see here's writing tools right here. So it's going to come up here, same place where you're used to seeing copy come up. And we'll click on writing tools, and then down here on the bottom you can see I have all the writing tools. So I can do a proofread, I can rewrite it, and again, here's the friendly, professional, and concise options. Then there's a summary and key points. I can make it a list or a table, and then down here I can compose using ChatGPT. So that's how the writing tools work. So play around with that a little bit, see how it works for you, and it can be very helpful. So let's look at the smart reply while we're here. So we're going to back out of here, and we're going to go up here and find a message. So here's a little trick. If you hit the time up in the upper left hand corner, it will go to the top of your list. Okay, so there we are. So let's go here. Oh, here's a message from this Roger Harmon guy. He wants to know, what's up? So I'm going to reply to him. Hit reply again. And here you see I'm getting the smart replies. So it's suggesting I could say I'd love to, or I'm busy. So these are going to change depending on what it sees in your message. So that can be handy just to get a quick reply off to somebody so they don't think you're ignoring them. So that brings us to questions. It looks like you have a few over there. And a request from me to please share the GoFor Gazette with anybody you know that uses Apple devices. Just one person, and you will help them out, and you will help us out. So let's see what our questions and comments are. And let me move them over here so I can see them. So let me get up to the top here so I can catch up with you guys. Good morning, Chris and Leslie Ann and Susan. Okay, so Leslie Ann says, can I turn off the organizational system? I think we covered that. So the answer is yes. There are several ways to do that. And then she said, I don't have to do it on your Mac Mini. Well, yeah, you don't have to, but you can. Okay, Susan is convinced. She had turned it off, but now she's going to give it a try. Well, good. I'm glad that my explanation showed you the reasons why you want to try it. Even though it's different, it, I think, can be very helpful. So what are all the colors on the letterhead side? I've been seeing them quite some time, but they haven't meant much to me. Are you talking about on the Mac or on the iPhone? Maybe you're talking about the branding. Let me know what okay, so we talked about colors. Okay, Susan likes the digest. And yes, she says get rid of all the crapola in one fell swoop. Exactly. Okay. Now you're jealous you don't have it. Well, you do have these things on your iPhone, Leslie Ann. You just don't seem to have it on the Mac, and I don't know why. When I did a search for it, it said it should be there, but I did my best to find it on my M1 Mac Mini running macOS 15.4.1, and it looks like they took it off. So thus far, Susan has found the Smart Reply feature in Messages not to be helpful regarding AI in general. She is not impressed. Yep, well, it's got a long way to go, I guess. But they're trying. And Amazon constantly says it'll be interested in things I've already bought. Not helpful. Surely AI should be better than that already. Yep, well, of course, Amazon's idea there is just to sell you stuff. So that's what they're interested in. And Chris says, writing tools have been in 15.4 and I think 15.3, yeah, or even earlier, but for some reason on my Mac I could not get them to come up. And Leslie Ann is with Susan. And Doriana says, very useful updates. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad that we all learned something. That is our goal here, is to learn things together. If there's something that you want to learn that we haven't covered yet, or even if we have covered and you'd like to go back over it, you can call me or you can email me and I will get on it and present it on another Go for Lunch. So hopefully we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday at high noon. Have a great rest of your week and take care.